In today's video, we're going to discuss one of the drainage organs that has a huge effect on our body's ability to function overall. This organ does over 500 different processes, and when it's not working, you better believe it's going to affect all of your other drainage pathways, not to mention how other systems function, or a better way to say it, how and when they start to malfunction when it's not working. In this video, we're going to talk about our liver and our liver's role in both detoxification and drainage. It is one of the key components, and when it is not working, like I said, we end up with massive problems down the road. Especially the bigger or the longer that the liver has been malfunctioning, the bigger the problems that we're dealing with. Okay, so let's dive in. What does the liver do? Now, I'm not going to list off all the things the liver does because we would be here forever. It has over 500 functions, which is a lot. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future research finds out that it actually does more functions that we don't even currently know about. But some of the big ones that I think it's important for all of us to know is it has a role in storing excess sugar in the form of glucose. It also makes bile. So if we have a gallbladder issue, maybe we actually have a liver issue since the liver is what is making the bile that the gallbladder is storing. Just throwing that out there. Some food for thought. That'll be saved for another video. It also removes toxins and infections. It literally breaks them down so that they can be removed from our body. It breaks down and absorbs vitamins and minerals. It helps maintain amino acids and sugar in our blood for overall function. Not to mention, it helps balance and regulate our sex hormones. So everything from cortisol to estrogen to testosterone to progesterone. As you can see, our liver does a lot. And again, those are only a few of the things it does. It does so many more things. But when our liver is overworked, imagine you're at a job and you have certain tasks that you have to do on a daily basis. And there's certain things that you can do every single day that you can get through, that you can check off, and that you can do well. But imagine your boss, your supervisor, comes in and starts to give you more work to do. Initially, you're like, okay, I can do this. So you pick it up and you pick up the pace and you're able to do it. You're able to get everything done. You're still able to do it in a timely fashion. You get it all done in the right time, and you're still able to keep a quality control. Well, imagine you get even more work. And now, instead of working 8 hours a day, you're working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then the workload goes up and the amount of time goes up. Eventually what happens is you shut down. You can't keep up with that demand, meaning you're not going to be able to get through all of that work that your boss has given you to do. Or if you do get through it, it's not going to be done very well. You're going to be missing things aren't going to be coherent, steps are going to be skipped, and so ultimately the end product isn't going to be as good. Well, unfortunately, that's what happens to our liver. Our liver, every single day, 24 hours a day, is having to break down the toxins and the waste that we expose ourselves to. Everything that we put on our body, in our body, has to be broken down by the liver. Meaning the liver has to take those toxins, waste products, everything, and break it down into water-soluble substances. It has to be water-soluble for our body to be able to eliminate it. If it's fat-soluble, it stays within our system. So if we're constantly exposing ourselves to more and more products based on the food we're eating, maybe it's perfumes, maybe it's cleaners, maybe it's air fresheners, maybe it's the air we're breathing, maybe it's the laundry detergent we use and put on our body, maybe it's the lotion. It literally can be anything. But the more toxins that we expose ourselves to, which in today's day and age isn't hard, we actually expose ourselves to hundreds, if not thousands of toxins every single day. And our liver has to break it down. So what happens when our liver is overworked and can't keep up with the demand? It ends up breaking down and we end up seeing other problems. So a lot of providers out there own in and majorly focus in on the symptoms, but never actually look at what's causing it. So an example would be cortisol going way too high. A lot of doctors will look at it and go, oh, your adrenal glands, oh, your stress. Well, what if it's your liver can't actually break it down for you to eliminate it? What if your adrenal glands aren't actually making too much cortisol? Or what if you have too much estrogen and now you're termed estrogen dominance, right? And that can look anything like PCOS to fibrocystic breast, you name it. Like it could be a whole plethora of symptoms associated with estrogen dominance. But what if it's your liver just isn't breaking down the excess estrogen, so it's recirculating in your body, causing the problems? What if it's your body's not making too much estrogen in the first place? So the reason I'm explaining it or telling you guys this is I want you to actually take a look and be like, maybe it's my liver. Because the crazy part is the liver is the only organ in our body that is capable of regenerating. That's right. Your liver can actually replace itself when we give it the right environment. Technically, every single cell in our body can be replaced. We do have to give it the right environment to do so, which means proper nutrition, proper hydration, proper sleep, proper microbiome, proper drainage. Our body has to drain to remove the toxins and the waste. So there's some things that have to be in the mix. They have to be ideal for our body to do it, but our liver absolutely regenerates. So individuals that have diagnoses of liver, like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or even alcoholic fatty liver disease, there's things that can be done to increase liver function. Now, one of the other things that I want to mention is when the liver's malfunctioning, it 100% is going to affect how your lymph, gut, and kidneys work. Let's start with the lymph. The liver actually makes the most amount of lymphatic fluid from an internal organ than anywhere else. It's going to make between 25 and 50% of the amount of lymphatic fluid that travels through the thoracic duct on a daily basis. Imagine if the liver's not functioning properly, how much lymphatic fluid might be produced from a malfunctioning or an underfunctioning liver. It's going to be a lot more, which then means it's going to put more pressure on your lymphatic system. So if you're doing a lot of lymphatic drainage, like dry brushing, manual lymph node massage, rebounding, vibration, you're doing all the right things, but you're like, oh my gosh, Dr. Kaylin, I am not seeing the results. Maybe it's not your lymph, maybe it's your liver. Or it could also put pressure on your gut because all of the toxins that the liver breaks down has to be excreted either via the kidneys in urine or the gut in stool. What can happen is if the liver's not working properly, it's actually going to put more pressure on those organ systems to do more. And the more toxins that are circulating around, the more inflammation that's going to happen, and the more breakdown of those tissues wherever the inflammation is going to occur. So if you've been told you have high elevated liver enzymes, you have either alcoholic fatty liver or non-alcoholic fatty liver, you've been told your hormones are out of whack, you've been told you have absorption issues, you have diabetes, prediabetes, gallbladder issues, anything that could be associated with liver function, I'm going to encourage you to dive into and look at your liver's function because, again, we're not making it easier for our liver in today's day and age. We're actually making it harder. So take a peek at what you're doing. Take a peek at what's going on and see what can you do differently to take some of that pressure off. So instead of loading more and more on your liver like that boss that keeps giving you more and more work, what can you take off of the liver's plate? How can you reduce your toxic exposure? What are some things that you could do at home? If you want more information on things that you can do at home for your liver, be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when a new video comes up, because I'm going to share all sorts of things that you can do at home to support your drainage pathways. Thanks for being here and happy draining!